Okay, guys. I am actually back here, for I have some news for you guys. This channel has finally hit 500 subs, and by finally I mean like a few months ago it hit 500 subs. I actually have been wanting to do a reward video for you guys for hitting 500 subs. Now I'm actually at 550, I think 553 subs now. Yeah, I do want to apologize for not making this reward video for you guys sooner, but I had to get stuff caught up, especially after I messed my arm up. I know I keep saying that, it makes me probably sound like I'm making excuses, but trust me, no, I had videos planned for you guys before I hit, that number. I just, messed my arm up and everything got pushed behind. Luckily, I pretty much got everything all caught up. I even did my first, seasonal review on SpongeBob. And I actually will continue doing that, because I promised you guys I was going to do that too. And now, for here on out, I will probably just watch a little bit at a time and then just split the videos into different parts. Maybe it'll make it easier for me, because that video had some error messages in it. And the reason why I'm bringing up the SpongeBob video is because in this video, I almost had an error or two, and I'm actually gonna talk about it probably when I get closer to it. I did fix it. I actually made the video work, but I was worried I was gonna have to start over. In today's video, we're actually gonna be doing a top 10 on SpongeBob, and because before I did a top 10 best SpongeBob music, now we're gonna do a top 10 worst music. So not songs like singing, but like the background music, kind of like I did the first time around when I had I think 300 subs. I think it's only fair to do that. And actually, I was really worried I wasn't gonna be able to actually get to a top 10. I was worried it would be like a top, 7 or 8. Just because I had a hard time finding some songs for the top 10 worst list, and that's music. Sorry, the music pieces, and that's not actually what you think. It's actually because a lot of the later seasons, the soundtrack kind of sounds similar and all that. So the music's not really the best, but it all kind of sounds similar. The older seasons had some remixes too and all that, but some of the stuff just sounds way too similar. Yeah, I don't know, yeah, I don't know, but that's gonna be that's the thing though. But I was able to make a top 10 for you guys, because, I wanted to do that. So we're going to be doing a top 10 on this. I can't believe we're finally getting to this, but we are. And remember, guys, if we get to 600 subs, I'll try to, I do plan to do a reward video for later too. And I promise you guys, I'm going to try not to make it take as long. Hopefully nothing else goes wrong, I'll knock on wood, I can knock on my little table wood right here. Yep. Hopefully nothing else goes wrong, but I don't know, we'll have to see here and all that, but I do apologize for this, but you guys can also follow me on Instagram and, in Twitter, and remember too, this is my opinion, because some people have gotten salty about me on, I actually commented on one of the music pieces on this list I will actually bring up, where some people got kind of salty with me about my opinion and all that, or I don't know, I'll talk more about it when we get to it, but remember to respect my opinion. If you guys like some of these tracks, that's nice. If you guys have any you don't like, you guys can leave them down in the comments below. Anywho, let's go ahead and get started with our top 10. number 10. Alright, first up at our number 10 spot is actually the only pre-movie track to be on this list. I was actually very skeptical if I wanted to put this on the list or not. There's actually more on this list that are tracks that I don't completely despise. But believe me, there will be some I do completely hate on this list, but a lot of these actually on this list are ones I don't completely despise, but don't really care about. This is one of them. This is the Drunken Sailor track B. Now, they actually didn't... I was looking it up on Google. They didn't have an image for it. I could have done it on, YouTube, but I get, better imagery when I go to Google. So, but yeah, basically this track, though, here is the Drunken Sailor B. Now, the Drunken Sailor, I believe the track originated from... what was it? Squeaky Boots title theme, I'm pretty sure. And then it actually played throughout history. It actually still plays to this day. This one surprisingly quit playing in season 6. Season 6 was the last time we heard it. I was reading some comments that it did return in like a Camp Coral episode or something, or a Camp Coral episode. I don't know. I don't really watch Camp Coral. I need to actually do that so I can do a review on that show, but that'll probably be in the future, not right now. But because I do want to get to doing more actual SpongeBob show reviews too. But yeah, I don't know. I just heard that's what I heard at least. But yeah, this track actually, ironically, you guys saw that image there, and then the voice clip I picked for this top 10. That actually plays. That's the last time we actually hear that music in that episode. So that's kind of weird. I actually wasn't even thinking about that when I actually put this on the list. I didn't think about it until I already had this all set up. So yeah. But I was gonna say that this track isn't bad. It sounds kind of a little too simple. Like not really much instrumental. In it. That said, that there are tracks like the Rank Hornpipe and all that don't really have much instrumental stuff in there either, but this one just sounds a little too soft. But that said, though, it's still not a bad track, and actually I had another one planned too, which was the music dumped, from that episode Dumped, which I'm pretty sure is not an actual SpongeBob track, but a lot of them aren't actually from, SpongeBob originally, or some of them are, but like remixes or something. Like I think the Tip Top Pokolo was one of those, but this track though was actually one of those. But yeah, basically it kind of has like I don't know, like it has that like one theme to it and all that. Not the Drunken Sailor. I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm I'm kind of like I'm like tired today and all that too and all that. Sorry about that. I was trying to say the dumped music. That one was actually used somewhere else too. That said though, I actually did not include it because actually, despite the episode being absolute garbage and probably one of the worst, if not the worst, pre-movie episode of SpongeBob, the track was not that bad, so I actually didn't put it on the list. I'll talk more about that later, but I actually didn't care for it at first, but listening to it, by itself and not watching this episode, it's not that bad, but it's not on the list, not because it's, borrowed from something else, but because it's not that bad, but this track though is just not that good. I mean it's not bad, but it's okay, but like it's not great, but it could be worse, like some of them coming up on the list, but I don't know if I have really anything else to say about it. So let's go ahead and actually move on to number 9. Yep, number 9. Next up is another track that This one's actually an interesting track. It's called the Box Melody. This track actually does not appear a whole lot throughout the show. It actually appears in a few episodes. Now, this music, I'll say the box, music and all that. It sounds pretty nice. It's got a nice tone to it. The reason why it's on this list, though, is it's very short. Like, there's not really much else to it, and it's a shame because I really do like this track. I just hate how short it is. Like there's not really much to the theme. It just plays kind of the same thing over and over again for about, I think, 30 or 40 seconds of the track. I mean, SpongeBob's had some music for like some like in the past it had some music, like short piece music, like for example when Patrick in the pre-movie episode of the Idiot Box, he says, "I hope Squidward isn't down in the dumps." It plays that weird that dung sound, but this is definitely a lot longer. It's not just a random music slash sound effect. It's actually a lot longer, but it's not like super long. But that's the problem, though. It's not bad to listen to. It just kind of sucks that it's very short and all that. And yeah, they've kind of forgotten about this one. I feel like, though, it's not really been appearing a lot. It's appeared a little bit. I mean, you kind of see in this image here that it does appear a little bit in post-movie, so they haven't completely forgot about it, but it's definitely not like post-movie, like modern, more like modern SpongeBob, like with the wacky faces and all that you see here. So it does appear, later down the road, but still, it still ain't that bad, though. It's just too short. That's my biggest problem with it. But that's all I have to say about this one, so let's go ahead and move on to the next. Number 8. And this is another track that's actually next, too. I don't know, this one's another one that appears in one episode. It's another one of these that appears in there's gonna be another one, I think, that'll appear in one episode and all that. But this one, I don't know how to feel about. I don't really like the theme to it too much. I actually need to kind of look at the theme real quick, though. So, because I actually already forgot what it sounds like. So hang on a second. Okay, I got to listen to it again for a second. I actually had to, just a heads up, some of these I actually have to listen to again, because when it comes to music, you kind of have to, listen to it again. But yeah, this track, though, I just don't really like the instrumental stuff that plays in it. It's once again, not too bad, but, it doesn't sound like that good, compared to, older, tracks. I think it's supposed to be like a royal, track and all that. But they've had so much better ones in the past. They had Dungeons and Dragons. They had themes there, royal stuff in it. They had they've had they've even had some tracks in the pre-movie era too that were better than this. But that's the thing, though. It's still not that bad. It is weird, though. It only plays in one episode, but yeah, I just don't like the theme of it that much. I just don't think it hits very well compared to other tracks. And I shouldn't be comparing it to other tracks. It's kind of, but I'm I don't know. I just don't like the theme of it. I just don't. It's not that because it's new or it's bad. It just doesn't sound that good to me, But yeah, it's still not that bad, but it could have been better. It could be better, but Again, it only appears in one episode that I'm aware of. I mean, this is actually outdated. I think these videos are outdated. You know, that I'm finding these music pieces on. So I don't know. But I haven't really seen any newer seasons of SpongeBob yet. I'm gonna have to watch them in the future. But as for right now, this is the only time it appears. You know, but like I don't know, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on to it. The next episode, the next number, number 7. All right, this is another track that's next here, the Fun Bridge, you know, 9 and all that. This is another track that I don't really have a lot to say about it. I will say, like the last one, which I actually thought this was, I kind of forgot this one was actually on the list. But like the last one, this one's not like too bad. I just don't like the theme of it too much. Like it's just not, it's not as catchy, you know, as other tracks and all that. You know, it kind of feels more kind of like, I don't know, the music doesn't feel as upbeat as the older tracks and all that. But like the last one, I don't think it's the worst. Like I don't think it's the worst. I still find it more enjoyable than some of the other tracks that are coming up. But I do find it ironic that this is yet another one that doesn't really appear again. It's pretty much just been forgotten about too. But this track though is still not too bad. I still don't hate this one that much. I just don't think it's as catchy as the ones coming up. But that said, though, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I know there's not a lot to talk about there, but it really is. It's just kind of another thing where I don't really care for the theme too much and all that. But again, it's not really like it's the worst. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one now. Number 6. This is another track that's next. I'm trying to figure out if I can. I think it's not only Shenanigans or something like that. This is where we're starting to get to the part of the videos where the tracks are starting to kind of not be very good. This one still isn't that bad, but it kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of do not like this one. It's basically my problem is with this track. This one is very, very just simple, straightforward. It's not awful either. Like I don't mind listening to it when I watch an episode, but it's kind of boring. Like it's kind of lame, if you ask me. It's very lame. It just feels like it just doesn't feel like up to some of the older tracks and all that. That said, though, it's still not that bad. I don't like it as much as, especially some of the other post-movie, tracks, that we had like in season 4 and 5. It's still not like, it's just not up there like it was originally, but but I still don't think it's that bad. But I definitely don't care for this one, and this is one of those that actually appears a lot throughout the post movie era from season 6 and onward. This track appears, but it's still not like that bad. It's still not that bad. But I definitely don't care about it as much as the others. So, yeah, but that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It's kind of a boring track, but like not like awful, but not great either. Just kind of whatever. But now we're gonna get into the fun stuff. Now we're gonna be getting into the later half of the list, and this is where the crap's gonna get really fun here. Number 5. This one is next. And here's where the tracks start to not here's where the tracks to me start kind of not feeling, up there at all as they once were. This is one of them, This track actually kind of sounds kind of like it sounds like a remix. Like, correct me if I'm wrong here, but this actually sounds like a remix of an older track. There's this track in that appears in the older episodes. It kind of sounds like a weaker version of that. But I think I've heard this track before. It's just like a remix of it. But I think I've heard it a lot, not like a ton, but a lot more in the earlier, seasons and all that too. But this one just doesn't sound like that good, and all that. It just sounds kind of like, I don't know, I just don't really like the instrumental stuff to it. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't sound like as good as the older, music and all that. But I still don't hate. I guess I do kind of don't like this one much either. But I still don't think it's the absolute worst. But I just don't like the instrumental stuff that appears in this, music. But yeah, I do. But yeah, I do think. I've noticed that this track. I think this track though, definitely sounds like I think I heard it from pre-movie, SpongeBob. So it's possible this is a remix version of it, but I don't know. But I just don't like this one as much. That the instrumental stuff's not that good in it and all that. But I don't know. But that said, that's all I have to say about it. So let's go on and move on to the next number. Number 4. And I got Salty Crab Jig. Kind of a weird. A lot of tracks honestly have weird titles, but this one especially is kind of weird. This track's kind of got a similar problem to the last one. The music is just not it's not really fun to listen to. This is a track that also appears a lot. I think pretty much the rest of these tracks that are listed on here pretty much appear. They pretty much appear throughout the entire, season. The rest of the series and all that a lot. This one appears a lot in the Krusty Krab and all that. It's just not that good either. It does not sound very good at all. I do not like the instrumental stuff. But yeah, it just kind of. But yeah, even listening to it now, I gotta say the track definitely just sounds very simple and kind of just, it definitely feels kind of it kind of blends into a lot of the, problems with the modern SpongeBob and their soundtracks, or at least season 6 through 8, a lot of their tracks kind of just sound very simple and all that. This is one of them. I don't like this one either. This one kind of sucks too. I don't like the sound of this one either. This one's actually up there more because I don't like it more than the last one. It just kind of sounds very. It also sounds generic as hell, and it doesn't really feel like the tracks really it doesn't feel like the track really is upbeat like the older ones were and all that. And again, I feel like I'm kind of throughout this entire top 10 here comparing older SpongeBob to the new SpongeBob and their soundtracks. That said though, not all of it's bad. I want to clarify, not all the tracks are bad. Some of them were actually on my original top 10 best list. I shouldn't say original, but I should say more so top 10 best tracks. It was actually, some of them were on here. But most of the tracks, though, that's the problem with the later season. This is kind of where, what I was talking about, where, coming up with a top 10 for this was kind of a little bit more difficult because a lot of the tracks here just sound very similar. Because there's other ones like this. They just sound very similar. They're kind of hard to rank because they all kind of blend in together and all that, and that's not a good thing. That's literally how I describe this track right here. It is just very, like, it's not very instrumental. Like, it's got a little bit of instruments in it, but, like, the instruments just don't sound as upbeat as, the older ones were, Even some tracks that were on this list, at least, feel like they sound a bit better to listen to. But, I don't know. But I still don't think it's, like, I don't think it deserves to be, at the top, 2 list, because I still don't, like, I don't think it's the worst thing ever, but I definitely hate this track. And the last one's kind of similar, but this track is one of them I definitely do not like. And whenever it comes on screen, I do not like listening to it much, but it plays all the time, so I kind of have to listen to it. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to number 2 now. Number 2 is going to be next. Number 3. Yep, number 3 is next. Kind of messed that up a little bit, but it's alright. This track is next. I'm trying to remember what this track actually was here. I'm trying to remember this one. I actually forgot about this. I thought I had 2 more left, but now I forgot. I have 3 more here. Let me see what this track is real quick. Alright, I had to actually look back at what that one was. Yeah, that's the thing, though, too, these tracks, due to them kind of being kind of bad, I have to, like, look back at them and all that, like, because I don't listen to them much, and this one right here, this one's also another one I can't fucking stand. The good news is this one apparently actually doesn't appear a bunch. Apparently does not appear a bunch, so I guess that's good. So I guess there was another one on this list after all, that actually, that actually doesn't appear much. The next 2 I do know appear a lot throughout, the rest of post-movie SpongeBob, so we'll be talking about those in a second. But this one right here, it's basically, the instrumental stuff they use in these tracks. I just cannot stand them. Like, this is one of them. Like I just don't like the way they sound. And this is supposed to be like another version of the sad theme from SpongeBob. I swear, SpongeBob has had, like, so many sad themes. I don't know, like, it... Like, you got it's not, like, sad moments. Like, like the crying and all that, but, like, it's kind of got like, it shows up a lot, in sad moments or characters not being, very interesting. Like, I think it first appeared, and I believe as I see is, Hat Pat, or something like that is what it was called, I think. And that episode, the characters are they're kind of more like they're upset because, it's getting boring and all that, so tracks like that, but I don't know, I just don't like this track either. This track is just kind of, not very good. It's very, it feels like, again, it has the problem I feel like a lot of these tracks do, like where it feels kind of more like it's the instruments they use and all that. They sound kind of all similar, I mean, even older seasons, a lot of the tracks, have, I'm not even talking about, pre-movie, I'm talking about, post-movie, season 4 and 5 tracks. They all kind of have, they have different vibes to them. Pre-movie's got, the water themes and all that, because, it's beach themes and all that. And then, season 4 and 5 have tracks that kind of blend in together, too. But, I don't know, that's the problem with season 6, 7, 8. Their tracks are just all kind of, they just all kind of sound a little too similar with instruments and all, and that's how this one sounds, too. It sounds very, I do not like the way it sounds either. It just sounds very simple and not very good. But like I said, it only appears in a handful of episodes compared to, the next 2. So, We're gonna be talking about the next two right now, because I'm so happy to talk about these ones, and by happy, I mean very depressed, because these next two are bad. Anywho, be back in a second. Alright, number two. Number two is next. Yep, I had to, I have to have the, the sound effects in my videos, At least for the top 10 stuff. That's why I gotta pause it. But this is the next one here. Now this track here, this one is one I don't like either. Like I don't like this one at all. This one actually is. This one and the next one are both tracks that appear a lot throughout Post movie, SpongeBob. And by Post, like I said, they appear in season 6 and all that. And that's the thing, though. A lot of tracks that season 7 and 8 use this too. Because I was actually thinking when I made this top 10, I was thinking about having tracks from them too, but a lot of them kind of have similar tracks. Not all of them do, but a lot of them have tracks they borrow from season 6 and all that. But this one though, this one is I hate this one so much. I do not like this track either. It's not as bad as number one. Number one is probably the worst track the entire show, and I don't know if anything will beat it, but we'll find out there. This one, though, is a Krusty Krab theme. So I talked about how the rank hornpipe and then the Tip Top Pokolo in the video. I think I brought up, too, that they also, in the old top 10, that they both appeared and, they both had appeared for a while and they disappeared. Unfortunately, the Tip Top Pokolo track, unfortunately, does not appear. They lost the rights to use it, so it disappeared after season 9. This track replaced it. And this track is a huge downgrade to that music. It's a huge downgrade. I don't like the theme at all. It sounds kind of a little too, I don't know, I don't want to say goofy, because, a lot of tracks and, even in the past were goofy too. Not just in, season 4 or 5, but pre-movie had goofy tracks too. But this one just sounds a little too much, and I don't know, there's just, again, the instrumental stuff they use in the tracks. I just don't like it, as much. And consider that this replaced the Tip Top Pokolo track. I really hate that. I do. I really hate that a lot. It's frustrating, that they lost one of my favorite tracks of the original show. Which I think, it was I think it was number 2. Yeah, I think it was number 2 on my top 10 SpongeBob tracks list. The best ones and all that. This one's actually number 2 on the top worst ones. Which is kind of ironic though. It's the one that replaced, the number 2 on there. But yeah, this track just is not good. I don't like it. This one's unfortunately one that appears throughout the entire, rest of the series. Pretty much, it replaced it, and I just don't think it's a very big downgrade, in my opinion, to the Tip Top Pokolo track. I just don't like it as much. That said, though, it's not as bad as number 1. But before we get to number 1, I do have a few honorable mentions. Or in this case, an honorable mention. This one is called the Salty Squid Jig. So this track is actually a remix of the last one I talked about. Yeah, apparently it's like a whistled version is what I saw. It doesn't have, I think it has a different name, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. But that's what I saw, so I don't know why it has this name in it, but that's what it does. It has this name in it, but that's what I heard at least, so I'm I don't know why it doesn't have the same name as it then, but I can kind of hear it too. It sounds very similar. I was very tempted to put this one on the list. I actually had this one on the list because I was going to tell you guys, I did mess up the top 10 a little bit. It's fixed now, but I did mess it up beforehand. I was worried I was going to have to redo the whole thing. But this track, though, I don't know, this track I'm kind of very split on. I kind of like it, kind of don't. I don't know, because I was thinking about, like, having it on there and replacing the number 10 spot. But I'd have to redo the whole video. But I was like, you know, I don't know, it's not that I didn't want to redo I would have redo the video if I chose that, but I don't know, I just don't think it's as bad. I'm kind of going back and forth on it, like, with it, and then the Drunken Sailor B track, I don't know, the Drunken Sailor B track is not that, like, it's not bad either. This one's kind of the same way. But yeah, basically, yeah, it pretty much is a replacement for that other one. I don't know. I don't know. Actually, take that back. This track actually sounds more like what I'm going to be talking about in a second. There's actually another track that's going to be on here that sounds similar to it. But I don't know. I'm just like, I just didn't want to put it on the list because I don't think it's as bad. But I was very kind of tempted to kind of redo the list just to put it on there, but I was like, I don't know, but because I would have to redo the whole thing because of that. So yeah, I don't know, but it's just, I don't know, this track just it also does not appear a whole lot either, like that sad theme I was talking about on this list, but it still, you know, it appears a lot throughout, you know, also you know, post-movie, you know, SpongeBob, but I kind of have the similar problem with the other tracks too. It sounds very similar to all the others and all that, but I just don't hate this track as much as, you know, as others. But maybe my opinion will change when I watch like season 4 or season 6 and all that to do reviews. But I remember mentioning this track. This track actually appears in the boating school or the episode, you know. Like Boating Buddies. It appears there, I think, first. I believe that was its first appearance, I think. I mentioned that I didn't like the track in there. I don't know, it's kind of grown on me a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know if I still like it or not. But I definitely don't think it deserves to be on the top 10, at least for right now. But yeah, but that said, though, that's pretty much it, though. But number 1 is the one I actually forgot to put on the list. You know, because I actually deleted it, so I was like, yeah, I definitely want to have that one on the list, so that's why I was like, why couldn't it be number 10, you know, but then I was like, looking back at it, and I was just like, I don't know, the track isn't that, like, I mean, this track is not as bad as I think the others are, but, we'll see if my opinion changes. For now, though, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to number 1. Number 1. Alright, here we go. The number 1 worst track is this track. Happy Sack, what is that? It's Happy Sack, what is that, Sanity? I don't know what that is. Or Shanty, or I don't know, whatever. This track is the absolute worst. God, I hate this fucking track so much on SpongeBob. I'm sorry, I had some people get mad at me when they were playing this track, and I'm like I was basically saying, like, who else besides me hates this track, and some people got upset at me in the comments and all, and I'm like, if you don't like my opinion, go somewhere else. I mean, I'm seriously like that, like, I don't mind people having their own opinion, but, like, I mean, it's not that because they disagreed with me, it's because they were being all kind of rude about it. Like, I had some people get rude about it. But yeah, I did say that in one of the comments on this track. I talked about that. But yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, this track is just fucking awful. This is the absolute worst, and I mean the worst SpongeBob track I've ever heard in my life. Like, it is so, it's fucking... It plays all the damn time. I don't think it plays as much as... I think the other one might play a bit more. But it's also... it's also very, it sounds very depressing when you listen to it. I mean, the other tracks have bad instruments and all that, but at least they have you feeling something. This track fucking appeared, this track honestly feels kind of out of nowhere. When you're watching a SpongeBob episode with this track in it, yeah, it's a bad track, and I absolutely hate it, but this track kind of feels kind of like it doesn't fit the theme very well, you know? It doesn't, it feels like it should be another sad theme, you know? But this track fucking appears all throughout the entire, it appears throughout the entire, post-movie, you know, episodes and all. It appears the Krusty Krab. So it's it basically replaces the rank hornpipe music too, pretty much. Now the rank hornpipe track did return, but this one still appears more. But I don't know, I don't like it. And I mean, even if you like it, you have to admit, again, it feels kind of it doesn't feel like a Krusty Krab thing. It feels like it should be a sad theme, you know, it doesn't feel like, I don't think I would consider this track to be, I don't think it's considered a Krusty Krab theme or it belongs, because SpongeBob's got their, you know, it's got their goofy tracks, it's got their, you know, Krusty Krab themes and all that. This one doesn't sound like it really belongs, you know, with those tracks. I don't know, it just sounds more like it would be a sad track, it play when there's sad moments on the show, you know. It just feels kind of out of nowhere. That said, though, I fucking hate this track. I do not like this track. It is really really hard to listen to. And sorry if I'm talking like this, but I'm just I do not like this track. I don't like it at all. I don't like it. I mean, it plays all the time. Like I said, it plays all the time, and that's the problem. And they play this track all the time in the show, and all. And like I said before, this track, you know, I feel like it would make more sense to play, you know, during sad moments, not because the way it sounds, not really I don't know, it just kind of sounds kind of, you know, that's the thing, it plays mostly not in the sad moments, but you know, mostly as a Krusty Krab theme, you know, so it just doesn't feel like a Krusty Krab theme, if you know what I mean, but yeah, I don't like this track, though. I definitely don't like it. It's definitely very depressing to listen to and all that, and, I mean, I probably wouldn't hate it as much if it, well, I mean, I still hate it, but I wouldn't, hate it, and be this pissed about it if it didn't replace the damn rank hornpipe track, pretty much, throughout the entire show. Because that's something they still have access to, you know, is that song. I'd rather have them play that than this. If they're gonna play this track, play it, for sad moments, you know, because that's what the theme feels like. It feels like a sad moment, you know. I don't know. But that's it, though. I mean, that's really all I think I have to say about these tracks, too, for my top 10. My phone's actually almost gonna die. You know, I saw that, if you guys saw that, it was hitting 15%, so. But that's the thing, though. I just don't have a lot else to say about this track and all that, but remember, guys, you guys can be respectful. I don't mind if people disagree with me. I just hate when people are rude about stuff. That's all I hate, you know? I'm if people like these tracks, that's fine. Remember, you guys can leave this down in the comments below. And these tracks don't always ruin an episode, but it definitely feels like these tracks kind of take away what SpongeBob, you know, once known for, their tracks, you know? And I mean, there are some post-movie tracks, even, I think season 4 and 5 had some really good tracks. They had a lot of really good ones, but then in season 6 they kind of started slacking a bit, and they kind of take away the feel of the show, you know. But tracks like this, though, I feel like they don't feel like they match the setting or something of the show, or the scenes, you know, like I said, this track right here, you know, should be playing, you know, during sad times, you know, be another sad track. I feel like that's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like a Krusty Krab thing, you know. These other tracks that I don't like at least sound like they belong at the Krusty Krab. Even the other one does. It's very happy. It's very happy feeling and all that, but which was number 2. This one's not like that. This one doesn't feel very Like, it doesn't feel very, you know, like, again, it doesn't feel like a Krusty Krab track. It feels like more like it should be something else. But I don't know. I mean, in the future, I think they could keep the track, but maybe, like, even though it's, I don't like it, but they could still keep it, but maybe, like, I don't know, maybe, like, bring back the rank hornpipe track. I don't know. The show just doesn't feel the same without some of these tracks and all. And I mean, it's okay to bring new ones in, you know, but this one just doesn't feel like a Krusty Krab theme. But that said, though, like I said, it doesn't ruin the show for me. I still watch some of these newer episodes, even with these tracks in it. But that said, though, I still don't like a lot of these tracks. You know, this is my opinion, you know. And, like, I would like to hear your guys' ones in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed my reward video. Sorry, it was late. And I love you guys all. Have a nice day.